Max, we are heavy prepping you for your impending doom. I'm going to let your mom know that you're going to write exams soon. What I want us to do today, we're looking at what is language doing, and I actually needed 2 hours to do this. Probably do it over today and tomorrow. But I've got a text by George Orwell. Do you guys know George Orwell?
Heard of him, but I've never read anything that he wrote.
Do you know George Orwell, Max?
Maybe. Rings a
Maybe.
bell.
Maybe not. Okay, so he wrote 1984 and he wrote Animal Farm. By the way, the most recent rendition, like the movie rendition of Animal Farm, is absolutely terrible. Never like that. No, they've got it wrong. They've got it wrong. Anyway, so basically, George Orwell wrote a lot of political stuff, and this is quite an interesting piece. We in English, I like to approach things from reading from dead dudes, and like hopefully a couple of dead women too, because one is just listen to dudes. But where this piece is called Politics and English Language. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at is how to do slow reading, how to do annotation, and how to identify Orwell's rules. Okay, so he puts rules on how to approach a political situation. Now, if I say politics, what do you guys think?
Parliament.
Okay, what else do you think?
Family dinner.
Family dinner, yes. Oh my gosh. What else?
Killing each other?
Killing each other. Okay, I mean that could be a political stance. I mean, have you seen the British Parliament? Oh my gosh. Okay, but so the thing is, we think of politics as this very big thing, okay? And to a degree it is big. But I would say that it is not always so big. Okay? Because education is inherently political. What are your thoughts on that point?
I mean, fair, yeah.
So the reason I say that, so I grew up, so Dirk over there, and I grew up at the same time in South Africa. He went to an Afrikaans school. When he looked at his history had a very clear way that they wanted you to think. My history at school had a clear way that they wanted me to think. Teaching history, I realized that both sides were just trying to get me to drink their Kool-Aid, because education is inherently political. We're trying to get people to agree with our viewpoint. Okay, so then we can look at it like that. We can say, okay, there's that. But then we look at apartheid South Africa. There were certain groups who were just not allowed to get a decent education. So there's that, right? Then we get other ways that is political. Our identities are political. Whether if you, we can say maybe conservative or liberal, but I'm not super into that. It just feels very American centric. And we know I don't like that. Hey, Max.
Yes.
But the thing is, we look at our lives, and our lives are political. I've got art on my wall there, okay? And that art is political. That one over there is a protest image. This one over there talks about freedom and knowledge. This one over there talks about the fact that we are all created equal. Okay, it talks about equality. This one over here was an expression of self. Self is also a political thing. Your idea of who you are and how important you are in society is inherently political. So we look at George Orwell's thing, and it's got a bunch of ideas. But I don't want you to only read it thinking up here as in political. Everything we do is political. Whether I drive over if I decide to follow the road rules, I am deciding to follow the laws of the country. Therefore, it is a political action. Because then I'm agreeing that someone is allowed to make rules about how I may drive on the road. Does that make sense? Okay, so this blew my mind when I was probably about your age. You guys are like 16ish, right?
Yeah.
Almost.
So I was about your age when I realized the politics of self. and it blew my mind. I got super excited about it, but got a little bit nerdy about it as well. Um, so it's 14 pages. I want us to do a quick. I say quick read. I want us to do a quick skim of it. Okay. So when we skim something, we don't read deeply. We just read shallow. We're just trying to get the crux of what it's saying. Okay. And what I want you to specifically look out for is he creates these rules for how to interact using English and politics. Okay. So he creates these rules. I want us to find what is called the overt things. Okay. We want the things that are there. We're not reading between the lines right now. We're just wanting the things that are actually there. So many people have different ideas on what English is and what language is. We're currently exploring how language is inherently political. When you get to A level or AS, well, A level actually, you get to A level. One of the topics is English in the world, and we look at the impact of English on other cultures and how it impacts our sense of identity. With language and identity, so a concept in A level. We're not just going basic. We're thinking. Point is to think, right? Are you all good? You're looking very concerned.